Guys, so today I'm going to be making a video about the air moon signs. So if you're a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius moon, stay tuned. Down below I will have in the description a little link, so you click it, find out your moon sign, watch the video. Oh my god, totally resonates with me. Yeah. So I'm going to be doing a series because I realize people don't want to watch an hour-long video or scroll through an hour-long video to find out there are certain characteristics. So I'm going to be doing a series for this moon sign video. So right now I'm going to be doing air moons, then I'll next post like a fire moon video, earth and water. So you can kind of just watch each of those series and kind of go in there. I'm not going to be doing a video for each moon sign. So this is just for all the air moons. So if you're one of these moon signs, stay tuned. It's going to be in this video. And yeah, so let's just get into the video. Before I talk about what the moon signs, their characteristics are specifically, I want to talk about the moon. And the moon is basically governs your emotions, how you are internally, who you really are deep down inside, and how you deal with emotions. Because you could be a Sagittarius but have a Cancer moon, and that'll definitely make you more emotional and more of an attached type of person. So it really affects, the whole chart really affects everything. So your moon sign is kind of how you deal with very special relationships to you, how you show your emotions, how you deal with emotions, how you cope with emotion, who you are really internally, what you wish for emotionally, what you need emotionally. It's even the relationship between you and your mother, that's what the moon is, because it's a feminine sign and it just describes the relationship that you have with your mom. But I won't be going into that because I feel like that's too personal, because any moon sign can have any type of relationship with their mom. Like, you could have a Scorpio moon, which is really dark and secretive, but you can have an amazing relationship with your mom. So I don't want to go into that, but I will be going into how you cope with emotions, how you show affection to your relationships very close to you. That can also be seen with the Venus sign. How you deal with emotions, who you are inside. So yeah, so if you're any of these moon signs, keep watching. So what first off, right off the bat, what I've noticed about air moons is that they are all usually scatter-minded and very imaginative people. I see these people, they're really good in the arts. They're really good in different sorts of hobbies. They are all very creative, and those are really good outlets for them. So I've really noticed that with them. And I've noticed, like right now I'm just giving you guys an overview of kind of the moon signs, not going in depth yet, but I've noticed that they also have this weird detachment. Like all the moon signs, all these Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius moons, they have this weird detachment towards their close relationships. Not saying that they're not emotional, or not that they don't love people, just that they have this detachment, and I feel like they really show the most affection to, honestly, their friends. I've noticed with these moon signs that they value their friendships so highly, and they're willing to fight to the death for their friends. Like, their friends are definitely the ride or dies ever since they were young. So if you have this moon sign, I've just noticed that you guys value your friendships very highly ever since a very young age. What is something else? So I've also noticed that these moon signs have a very good policy, I would say, of being unbiased. They have this good sense of justice, if you will. They have a good sense of not being biased towards, if they just met you or they've known you for 10 years, they have a good sense of, okay, so what is fair? What is a fair judgment? And I've seen that they overthink all their emotions. Since Gemini is ruled by Mercury, and if you have a Gemini moon, you overanalyze all your emotions down to a T. You don't like to feel. They have this weird detachment to their emotions, because these moon signs particularly just like to analyze their emotions and think about them logically instead of actually feeling them. That's a huge one. They really analyze their emotions and don't let it get the best of them. They don't really like to give in to their emotions. They'd rather analyze and look into them and see why they're feeling that than actually feeling them. And then when things become too hectic, I feel like they just push out their emotions. I would say a little less with maybe Gemini and Libra moon, but Aquarius moon, I've noticed that highly. These moon signs are a bit indecisive. They're not good with decisions. I feel like that can kind of transfer into the sun signs, but also the moon signs. Like what I said, they kind of overanalyze their emotions. They don't know how to feel, and so there's this sense of indecisiveness in what they want to feel and what they really do feel, and there's kind of like this push and pull between them. They're also good at reading in between the lines. Collectively, all these moon signs are good at kind of spotting what wasn't true, because since they're all basically revolving around justice and the truth, that's exactly what they look for. And once they feel like you're wronging them or something just isn't right, they're good at just spotting it and saying, yeah, no, you're wrong and you're lying to me. So now I have all my notes like down here, so that's why I'm looking. Maybe I can put it up here. So now we're going to be going into Gemini moon. Gemini moons are the most talkative moon signs. I've noticed that the way they express maybe their nostalgia or their emotions is definitely through talking about them. But I noticed that they have this really cute sense of nostalgia or remembering memories through stories. And once you meet a Gemini moon, you'll know they're a Gemini moon once, like the first second you meet them, and they're already telling you a story. They're already telling you a story about the time that they went to Costa Rica, or the time that their little baby sister was born, or about the time that they bungee jumped, or about the time, this really funny story that they had on Halloween, this really great memory that they had in school one year. Like out of nowhere, the most random things, and they're the most talkative moon sign in my opinion. They love talking about memories, and that's kind of how they feel the memories. They relive them. That nostalgia just really comes out. It's not that they're really sappy and sad when they say them, but I've just noticed that they're very talkative and they love storytelling. And I just feel like that's how they express themselves the best. I've noticed that they don't really dwell on the past. They really do move forward, and that's where the storytelling comes in, because I feel like since they're so good at moving forward and moving on to the next thing, that they kind of just remember these stories. Also because they're ruled by Mercury, so they remember these stories and they think about them and they kind of relive it through the storytelling through a stranger or somebody that they're close with. I would say a very good outlet for these moon signs is through writing. I would say writing, poetry, any type of art. So if you like painting, if you like sketching, any type of art, anything that will let your mind do all the work, but let your emotions kind of fall onto the page, if you know what I'm saying. Since this sign is ruled by Mercury, they're all about communication. They're all about different forms of art as well. They're all about writing and communicating that. So I would say the best outlet for them, honestly, is just through writing. So if you're a Gemini moon and you are in the motion of feeling, I would say the best outlet is just writing. Maybe if you like drawing or painting, something that'll keep your mind busy and going, and something that'll keep you going for a while. So if you're just writing, or if you're just painting and you're just sketching, it'll keep your mind busy and off of what you're feeling. And I feel like that's the best outlet for you. They are, in my opinion, I've noticed that Gemini moons don't really hold back. When they're feeling something or they notice something, most likely the ones to say it. They're not really shy. They don't really beat around the bush. So if something that you did upset them, they'll probably let you know right there and then. Like, they're very cut and dry with it. Like, oh yeah, you really just did feel this way. Or they might just be very sassy. I've noticed that Gemini moons can be a little sassy and a bit petty, if you will. So they might kind of push you to the side. Or kind of, they'll be around you, but they'll still act a little a little bothered by what you just did and will give you like the sass. But I feel like Gemini moons are good at communicating what they feel in the moment. I've noticed that with them, that if you just upset them, if you just made them feel a certain way, they'll definitely let you know. I don't see them being very afraid of that. I would say that Gemini moons are also like the sun signs. I feel like people think they're weird because of their interests or what they're into. They are scatter-minded and they do like a lot of different things, like Gemini sun, and people might think they're weird for their interests. So if you're a Gemini moon, let me know if people ever thought you were weird growing up or now because of like your interest or what you're into, things like that, because Gemini moons always have a lot of different interests, and that's why they're so fun to talk to, because you just talk to them and those interests that they love just really come out, and you can just really speak to them about anything. And Gemini moons are pretty cool people, I would say. I would say they're a bit impulsive, very nonchalant people, but a bit impulsive with what they're feeling, and that's why they may come out sassy once they let you know something that bothered them or they did not like. They'll just give you that sass right away because they're a little bit impulsive. I would say kind of if a Gemini moon loves you when they write you little things, they write you little cards, or they just straight up tell you. Like I said, they're not really big on holding back or anything like that. They'll definitely just tell you and show you. But I would say more through communication and more through writing and more through, hey, like I just made you this little painting today. I thought you would like it, but it's really, really cool. Or they just might take you out to a really fun place. I feel like that's how they show that they truly care for you, you know? Next is Libra moon. So Libra moons, you guys are a little weird. I don't kind of understand it, to be real honest. Libra moons, to me, they're these bubbly and cute little people, and they honestly just really love everyone, but they're emotional. Like, everybody's emotional. Everybody has emotions. But with Libra moon specifically, it's that indecisiveness between them. Like, you don't really know, and I don't feel like they really know what they're feeling. These people, I feel like they're the most different between the moon signs, the air moons, because Gemini and Aquarius both share this quality of kind of a little bit of a detachment towards their emotions, being very more a little bit analytical, but definitely Libra moon is more heartfelt. They're like the people pleasers, the little cute ones in the zodiac. So I feel like they're just most different out of all the air signs, air moons. These people definitely do have very bubbly personalities. All Libra moons that I've met have this very good way of not making you feel welcome, but making you feel known, making you feel like you're there. Whether you're a stranger and they just met you, I feel like Libra moons, once they first meet somebody, you can kind of have a vibe that they're already your friend, sort of. They don't really leave people out in the dirt. They're kind of like, hey, like that equality is there. That's what all the air moons shares, that like equality. Because they might not be all very emotional, but they all share that sense of equality and want everybody to feel like they're noticed and incorporated. So something else about Libra moons is that they're very peaceful and sensitive, but they're not sensitive in a water moon type of way, which we will get to in the next video, but they're just little sensitive beings. When I think of a Libra moon, I think of them as being little pink beans, like a little jelly bean. Like, honestly, these people are just very soft and heartfelt. But there's this weird detachment between them and their emotions, because they're kind of like Virgo moon, where they analyze all their emotions. They definitely analyze them, and they feel a lot, but they analyze them, and then they kind of just detach towards them. And I've noticed that with Libra moons, their relationship with their mother is like that. Even though they love their mom so much, they hold this weird detachment towards their mom. And I don't see them... They're independent, but still want people to like them, because they are people pleasers. Libra moons definitely are the type to people please. They want everybody to like them. They want everybody to feel equal and with them. Libras are just, so weird. I don't know why. I can't really pinpoint the air moons. They're just very all unique in a sense, so I can't really just like wrap my head around all of them. That's why it's kind of hard to explain all of this. But they really don't let their emotions get the best of them most of the time. I feel like Libra moons are very unbiased people, but it's kind of weird because they're pretty judgmental. Libras, they're pretty judgmental, but they hold this good sense of not being biased towards people over those they love. If you're a stranger or they've known you for 10 years, like I said, they hold this good sense of unbiasedness, you know? I feel like once you get down to the core of a Libra moon, they're extremely soft people. You might not know their emotions because they might not want to feel them. So that leaves you kind of in this weird limbo with their emotions. But once they really, you know, let you in and you kind of know the true them, they're extremely sweet people. They'll get you gifts galore, I feel. They'll take you out. They'll always want to talk to you. They'll always want to be with you. They're ruled by Venus, so love just comes very naturally to them. And I feel like Libra moons are always in one relationship or another because they just love. They love meeting new people. They love falling in love with new people. They can kind of give themselves away and be a little bit submissive at sometimes because they're so easy to just be so entranced by somebody new that they won't think twice about it. So I'd say if you're a Libra moon, you might be the type to always be in a relationship because you just love the idea of love. Like, love just makes you feel so warm. And the fact that you are an air sign as well and cardinal, you go after what you want and you like meeting new people. You like that sense of newness. So that's why you're probably always with one person or another person or another person. So I would say also that they're huge flirts. Libra moons are huge flirts naturally. Once you meet them, it's kind of, oh my god, they're just huge flirts to literally anybody. Anyone. Whether it's a guy or girl, they'll just kind of, they have that flirtation to them. Like Libra suns, they have this little flirtation vibe about them that you can't really tell if they like you or they're just being really nice. I would say they're very positive people. I would say that Libra moons definitely are one of the more positive moons, but I feel like they're also pretty realistic. So they like keeping that analyzation there. So even though they are positive, they still can look at the other side, which is the realistic side. So I feel like they're good at not getting stuck in what's not real, what's not reality. I would say that good outlets for them are going shopping, anything that has to do with shopping, going out to eat, maybe to a fancy restaurant. I would say anything artistic as well, like Gemini moon. I would say maybe something that has to do with clothing, something that has to do with fashion. So making new fashion ideas of new clothing items, maybe buying sweet things and just staying home by themselves is a good outlet. Possibly letting their friends take them out. Maybe being around friends a lot is a good outlet for them. So now we are gonna be going into Aquarius moons, and Aquarius moons to me are pretty interesting people. I would say Aquarius moons overall are the most chill moon sign. On the outside, they're real chill, but then on the inside, this is where all their emotions are. Like, their emotions are not here. They don't feel them. They think about them. And what I've noticed especially about Aquarius moons, every single Aquarius moon, is that friendships are prioritized. Their friends are more family than their actual family. So if you're an Aquarius moon, your friends, whether you've known them for 10 years or 3 years, their friendships are prioritized, and they think of their friends as their family. And honestly, nothing can replace that. That bond that they have with their friends, that sense of family and connectedness that they have with their friends, they hold that and cherish that highly. Like, you cannot get in between their friends and them. And I would say that they've been like that since a very young age. It's really weird, but I think it's really cute. No matter if let's say your mom is an Aquarius moon, or your dad's an Aquarius moon, or your little sister's an Aquarius moon, you'll always have that friendship bond with them. They might have always gotten along with you in that way. So if you have an Aquarius moon parent, I would say that they might have always felt more like a friend to you, like they're your best friend, and you can really talk to them about anything, kind of, because they're more of your friend, or you can kind of just chill with them and do stuff with them. And yeah, I just feel like they even though if they are your family, they treat you with that good sense of friendship. I would say they're pretty blunt with how they feel. The reason that I feel like all the air moons are pretty blunt with how they feel is because they don't want to sit around and be sappy or be sad about anything, or honestly just feel. And so they're better at communicating it and speaking out when something's not right and getting the justice and equality that they deserve, because they're very fair. And I feel like Aquarius moons have the hardest time understanding their emotions, because I feel like they think of themselves a certain way, or they hold themselves up to a certain standard, or they just honestly can't deal with certain emotions, or they don't have a good time just feeling and letting things go. They kind of just keep it in the mind, and they kind of rehearse it and think about it constantly. Instead of just feeling, they're definitely more isolated and detached from their emotions. No matter how much they would like to show you their emotions and show you who they truly are, they are the most isolated and detached moon signs, I feel, that they really just need their alone times, and they really just retrieve back to themselves whenever something doesn't feel right. Wow, I'm saying so much. But yeah, I feel like they genuinely do live in their own little world, and they do isolate themselves and detach themselves from the people that they love. So if you have an Aquarius moon friend or family member, you might have noticed that they're constantly just pushing themselves away. You wonder why they're not closer to you, or share, or are more open with you, and that's just honestly because they don't understand themselves, and they can't communicate something that they themselves don't even understand. And I feel like a huge plus about Aquarius moons, though, is that they definitely do know how to look at the bigger picture. So if they are sad, they don't really let it get to them or let it transfer onto other people, because they look at the bigger picture and they kind of contain it within themselves. And they don't, since they're looking at the bigger picture, they don't let themselves be flooded and consumed and just sad from their emotions. They know how to kind of hold themselves with a normal sense of who they are. They don't, I would say Aquarius moons aren't the type to just wallow in self-pity in public, and you can kind of notice and you're like, oh my god, what's wrong? They kind of don't want that attention. Kind of understand. So yeah, I would say that another way that, honestly, I would say Aquarius moons, if you know that they like you, or you know that they love you and care for you, is just if they're constantly wanting to talk to you, if they're calling you and going out of their way, out of their alone time to come talk to you and, you know, ask you how your day was. an Aquarius moon loves you. If Aquarius moons kind of get out of their little world in isolation for a while and go out of their way to talk to you, they care for you, because Aquarius moons really show it in giving up their time, I feel, because I feel like it takes a lot of their mental space to kind of go out of their way. And I feel like Aquarius moons are just that moon sign that's not good at communicating with family. They're not good at keeping in touch with those they love or reminding them, honestly, because they're just so detached. I feel like obviously they do have emotions, but they're just not very good at expressing them, so you kind of have to give them some time, y'all. Aquarius moons are amazing, but you gotta give them some time. So yeah, I feel like that's all that I have to say for all the air moons. So next video, I don't know what it's gonna be about yet, whether fire, water, or earth, what order, but stay tuned, and yeah, thank you for watching.